Hey, welcome to 442. Today we're talking about retro games, and we left it kind of vague because we might talk video games. We're going to talk. We'll definitely talk video games, board games, but maybe role-playing games. We'll talk about what Luca's current retro games for his future are.
Yeah, today's games are his retro games, right?
Yeah, technically, right?
I guess.
He's got. I guess you could argue he's going to have better games than we did, but maybe. I don't know.
I mean, better looking for sure.
Yeah, definitely better looking. But I think about toys and stuff, and I don't know the toy levels. I don't know if He-Man toys are on the level that they used to be.
They redid them, so they're basically the same. I also just saw like the old school card back for Ninja Turtles, like because the new movie's coming out, so they like redid those. Like everything retro is cool again, but I see some of those figures. Like if you go back to the 90s, like 99, I guess late 90s, with the episode 1 figures in particular, like they look really good, right? Darth Maul was coming in half. Like they were good. And then you look at some of the ones that they're doing now, especially with not the black series, but the 3.5 inch series, and their faces are atrocious. Like they just look bad. So,
the black, well, that's why I like the 6-inch Black Series figures because they do those in 3D, so the faces look right and all that. But you're right, those 3.5, the little ones, man, they don't try.
They don't at all. But it was the same, like the episode 1 figures, right? Like the power of the Force and all the stuff that they did again when they reiterated all the things. They looked good. It didn't look like Luke, but they looked good. And the 3.5 inch, even though they're like modern, they look worse than those did.
Actually,
25 years ago.
Yeah, I actually wonder if that's George, because George Lucas always cared about the toys, right? So once he got out of the business, maybe Disney was just like, make the, they're cheaper too, right? So maybe they're just saying the kids get the little ones and the big kids get the big figures. So I don't know. Passed out.
He's just on the bench over here, just laying down watching TV. He won't go in the living room. He's watching it right from here.
Yeah.
You're a lunatic. I know.
But yeah, you got your Mario Kart shirt on, so we'll talk about video games and stuff like that too.
That's quack. He's holding a duck, and that's his quack 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 quack. That's Luca.
I just learned yesterday that ducks have a male quack and a female quack, and they're very distinctly different.
I didn't know that.
The normal quack that you think of is the male quack, and the female quack is like I don't know, it's squeaky.
Huh.
Weird.
What's that?
Maybe that's not all ducks, but the duck I was looking at.
His quack quack sounds like the Martians from Mars Attacks. That's all I hear.
Okay.
Oh my god, dude. So I guess I'll start off by, this is my announcement. I'll apologize now. He missed his nap this afternoon and would not fall asleep before the show. So he is in extreme rare form.
Me too. I didn't get a nap either.
It should be fun. Yeah, I didn't either. Oh, man. Hi, guys. How are you?
Did you see what Dave said?
Pretty sure that was yeah. It definitely sounds like that. Yeah, doing. Yeah. So he wants to play with these right now, these old school, talking about retro, right? Like he wants to play with these blocks. And I know he knows he can count, and he's been learning, like he's been practicing on his hands to count. But today, just a half an hour ago, I was showing him the numbers that they have on here, and he's saying them.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, what number is this? And he's not enunciating 2, but I know the difference between what he's doing for 2 and what he's doing for 4. So it was pretty neat.
Now divide them. No.
Yeah. Eventually, do it. Teach your whatever.
Yeah. So we're just going to talk basically games that we played as kids and stuff, but teenagers, kids, that kind of thing. Video game, board game, role playing for me. I don't know if you ever did any role playing as a kid.
No, not back then. I missed the boat on that one. The first RPG I did was with my friends in Syracuse when we first started doing. When I first started hanging out with my friend Steve, who I've talked about. We ran through a scenario for Call of Cthulhu. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it. It was the best. But it wasn't until a decade ago that I had that first RPG.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I think RPGs are probably my first game.
Yeah.
Because my brother, who's 7 years older than me, he was making up RPGs all the time, and then just like, hey, let's play this, and then he would run it, and I would be so. It was like made up stuff that I played mostly, but it was all based off of Star Wars D6 and stuff like that. So
Right.
Dave, the video champion, is here.
Who's a video champion? Oh, video game.
Yeah, probably. Well, and then video games, go for a while. So let's talk board games first. So when you think retro board games, and sorry, we're skipping announcements, aren't we? Do you want to do announcements now, or do you want to do announcements near the end? Or
yeah, no, I actually have that video game one. I got it now. I remember. Did you fall off the bench? That happens, right? I know. Because you're a wiggle butt.
I don't know.
I have no conventions to do next weekend. I have nothing to plan for. I can just take care of this Wiggly Bear and do 3WS stuff. So it's actually kind of like chill, I guess. But I do have a throwback to a few weeks ago. I had mentioned afterwards, and I couldn't go downstairs to get it because Luca was out of his mind. But Shannon, who isn't in the chat yet, but Shannon made me this lanyard for my QSCon badge.
That's cool.
Got the
what are the little beads in between?
Yeah, they're just little beads. They're
okay. All right.
Death Stars, but they're blue and orange. And then I had VIP badges made for Luca and Mika and myself and Dave from Bullfinch's kid. But I had one of Luca's arts, like DeVito put one of his paintings in the background.
That's cool. That's fun.
So there were only a few of them made, but I thought it was pretty neat that we got Luca's art in the badges. So, and on high demand, I think next year that might be the background or one of his might be the background for the badges. So,
that's cool. We gotta call out which one it is throughout the year. Be like, that's the one.
Yeah, like we'll have a vote on which one it should be for the background. Yeah, I know. Well, stop crawling around. What are you doing, Paul?
You have paintings behind you. Are those the ones that you wanted to show?
No, he did those. He did 3 of them today.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I'll bring them out. I'll bring them out another time. I think I don't want to show that one. I had another one I want to show.
All right.
But
if you haven't seen this before, we like to check out Luca's paintings and try to see what we see in them to, basically to Rorschach test it.
Yeah, he sits usually when he's eating or having lunch or something. He'll sit in the high chair, and I'll break out what started out as 3x3 canvases, and now they're 4x4 canvases. And then I'll hand him,
He's getting bigger, so
they're getting bigger. They're considerably bigger. So that's a 3x3 and a 4x4. So I'll hand him the watercolors, and he'll just paint. And he started. This one's from February. He started end of December. So this one's from February of this year.
Whoa!
Right. Wow. The blue doesn't really translate well, but it's a really cool looking blue. Is it?
No, I like it.
Different than that
one. That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
And that one looks violent.
This was a 3.
Did you make him mad that day?
Say what?
Did you make him mad that day?
No, I don't think this one was mad. I could show you some that looks like he was just pissed off at the world. Hi, buddy. I know. I'm showing your painting. I'm showing your painting.
I see
Please don't stand
definitely see an orange dude And it looks like he's holding up two Uzis, and he's shooting, and green fire's coming out of him.
Jesus. Okay, that's specific.
I told you it looks violent. Looks
I don't think
violent to me.
I'm not on that side of the line, but I see a mech. I see,
You see
the orange skeleton of a mech.
Oh, yeah, see, same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't see green something and Uzis. Jesus.
Well, the green are the little bursts, you know.
Here. Okay.
He's like,
Okay. What's he doing?
nope. You get one.
I get you.
A guy protecting a small dog from attacking hawk. Okay,
Wow.
hold on. Let's unpack that. Where's the guy's probably orange, I imagine.
Yeah.
The dog might be the green, and the hawk is the blue. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to find that one. I don't see a hawk in that mess. Maybe a hawk that's been torn in half.
They are all blue?
Oh, okay. One's the hawk and one's the dog. So maybe the dog's on the left and the hawk's on the right.
Oh, maybe this is the dog up here.
Yeah, or a ferret. It looks like a ferret to me, but I could see a dog. Uh-oh. That's a totally different thing.
Totally different picture.
I don't know what that is.
Now I see one of those Chinese dragons, like the.
Yeah, I was just about to say. I see a dragon. It's got the horns.
Yep.
Its head is all turned. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Now you're blowing my mind.
It's crazy. It's almost like a Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Now I see a beetle
or a Snorlax because of the color.
Yeah, locust or something. What kind of bourbon were you drinking, Dave? So yeah, this is
Definitely not peanut butter.
February. I like this one. I like the colors. I like the blue and the green and the orange. It goes really well together.
Yeah, those are good colors.
They like it. Say yay.
You get a thumbs up, Luca.
Good job, buddy.
All right. Well, so let's talk about. I don't know. You want to start with board games? That would be a shorter list for me, actually.
Yeah, same. Same. Ooh, peanut butter. Yes, every kind of bourbon. I still gotta yell at my mail person because I never get the invitations from you guys ever. They never arrive.
Well, sometimes you don't check your text, so it's probably that.
No, I check my text constantly.
So, what is this thing actually? I don't know what this is. So this is containing the board game that I played the most in my youth.
Okay.
It's New Media Alliance Developer Kit. I don't know what this thing is. But what happened was, I had Talisman 2nd edition. And yep, there it is.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what that is. Something on it. Anyway, I've had that since I was 11, and I've got all the expansions, everything in it, but I don't have the box anymore because back then you don't take care of your boxes, and I left the game out at one point. And my mother saw it and saw devils in it and put it outside, and it was raining.
Oh.
So it was one of those 80s instances of what kind of things are in the games these kids are playing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But everything inside was savable. It was just the box was just like, putty. So I grabbed whatever that is. I don't know where that came from. And I put the game in there. And I still have it. But, of course, they have the new version. I think version 4.5 or whatever that I have. That has the cones and all that. It's so much better.
Yeah.
But I still want to keep it and stuff. So Talisman was really my number one played board game.
Yeah, outside of
Not a good one.
outside of Monopoly and Scrabble, I remember playing Scrabble a lot as a kid. The first one that was more, I don't know, the one that stands out more. They were actually like those Milton Bradley IP kind of games, like the Indiana Jones, the Dukes of Hazzard, the stuff like that. That was basically roll and move with cool. Like, I still have some of them. Roll and move kind of stuff with cool little, like the Dukes of Hazzard cars, which made no sense because they had orange, blue, red, and yellow. It's like, no, there's one. I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, right. Yep.
But there was a Pac-Man game that had this Pac-Man that had a hole on the bottom, and as you moved it, you'd go over these white marbles that were the pellets, and you'd actually, like, it was like a pressure point, and you'd go through and got them up, and then the ghosts, they had a blue and the color, and you put the blue over when you got the yellow marble. That one stood out. But the one that I played the most, and I still have my original, and I still have it in the box, and I still have the clearance sticker on it for $14 when I got it, was the original Fireball Island.
Wow.
I played the hell out of that thing with my sister as often as we could. It was so cool and so stupid, and we laughed our asses off every time.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I ever had a board game that was that gadgety other than like Mousetrap, and I don't think I had a complete set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
played Mousetrap, right? Like, Mousetrap was like, you got all these cool bits, you threw out the fucking insert and the instructions, and you just put stuff together and watched it like spiral down and try and it was not, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think I ever had all the pieces. I think I was able to like make one little thing happen, and then I didn't have something else to connect or.
Yeah.
Yeah. Head of the class.
Island for me.
I've never heard of head of the class.
I've heard of that. What are you doing?
Go to the head of the class.
Go to the head of the class.
It was an original trivia game.
Yeah.
We played Trivial Pursuit in our house. But as a kid, I didn't know what it was talking about.
No, they were so far over my head. I was like, what? And the questions were so... It's like, what color is red? That's where I could have, like, sat my mind on. But it was like...
Well, we'd have like a whole aunts and uncles and stuff would come and they'd all play as one big thing, right?
Yeah.
And so the kids, we got nothing else to do. We'd go off and play. But there was one time where they were like, "Hey, get in here. We have a comic book question." And whatever it was the one comic book I wasn't reading at the time. It was like something I didn't know, like, something from maybe DC, and I was more of a Marvel person. So I was just like, I don't know. And they were like, "Well, then what good are you? Get out here."
That's hysterical. So, of course, it's the one that you weren't reading.
Of course. Yeah. Like a Green Lantern question or something. I never read Green Lantern.
No one read Green Lantern. Well, that's not true. Hal Jordan was neat. I like that.
I think it's an interesting kind of story-ish, but I just never got into DC other than Batman and Superman. So.
Yeah.
But I played also the Monopolies and all that stuff, Scrabble, Clue. Did you ever play Clue?
Loved Clue. Yep, never was good at it. I always got beat, but I enjoyed it. Yep.
Diana says she played. I think she's talking about the head of the class one now. I don't know if it's trivia. But yeah, board games, they weren't what they are today.
No, Sorry and Trouble. Like, they still had pretty decent for its time, right? They still had decent production. Mousetrap. You actually played Mousetrap? Like, the rules of Mousetrap? They had good production value, right? Like, if you think about Trouble and Sorry, like, they had the plastic board with the things that socketed in, and they socketed on top. Like, they did have good. They had good, like, Fireball Island for its time. That a vacuum formed board with the marbles that went down, and they tipped the bridges, and the people fell off, and the sculpt for the people, like, for what it was. Yeah, Life too, right?
Played Life all the time.
Style. Yeah.
Payday. Never played Payday.
There were some good ones. There were definitely some good ones, and for what they were worth, like, at the time. They stood out. They were good production values. They like mine still holds up from when I got it, however long, whenever it was originally released. I got it off clearance from a it was called the shop was Ames.
I assume that before the whole remake from what's their names?
Yeah, the original. The original.
Do you have the remake?
I do.
And
I think I think it's fine. I think they tried to make it a game and it ruined it for me.
you just wanted the toy factor.
Yep. Yep. Also, it didn't go back in the box easily. Like it was, I don't know. I wanted it to be goofy. Like I just wanted it to be. It was a roll and move. You always got stuck in the caves too longer than you wanted. I just wanted to decide on when the fork came to go up the mountain or to go on the coast, and then at some point you play the card, you knock the fireball down, and it would just wreak havoc, and you'd start again. And it was I just wanted that. I didn't want more strategy in the game. I just want to play. I just wanted that childhood back. It could have been upgraded components. I like the 3 pieces of the board, so it was like gave it a different level. It had the palm trees that went in. Like they upped the value, the look of it, but I didn't want a game to be folded into the remake, and I think they just added a game to it. So
well, just don't play the game. Do it like Mousetrap.
Just play it the way
or Mousetrap. I also played Axis and Allies. I still have that old game as well, and the box is barely holding on. But it's a giant box. It's got to be on top of Kalax. But it would take like an hour and a half to set up.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like 8 hours to play.
Yeah, sure. And it's still in production, right? It's still made.
Yeah, they make them differently now, so they're tighter. They're the gameplay is a little stronger, all that stuff. But I have a computer game now that does the old board game that I will play instead because you don't have to spend an hour and a half setting up. But
that's cool.
It's still a fun game and stuff. But the problem with that game is like after the 3rd round, you know who won, and there's still like 5 hours to go.
Nope.
Yeah, most of the time we'd just be like, concede.
Okay. Tip the king, you're done. Yep.
Yeah, it was always like by 2nd or 3rd round, you would see how things swung and know that, okay, it's impossible to win at that point. So in that regard, it was more like an hour-long game.
Yeah.
It was great as a 2-player game because what would happen is one person play Axis, Germany and Japan, and the other person play the Allies. It's America, Russia, and Britain, right? So if you did that, you just alternated turns and it was fine. But whenever you played 5-player, it was brutal. You would take your turn as like, I don't know, America or Russia or whatever, and then you would just like walk away, go make a sandwich, watch a show, come back. My turn yet? Nope. All right, come back. Yeah.
No way.
Had patience for games like that back then because you're a kid. You ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you have it now, right? Like playing Twilight Imperium, it's a long game, but you're still invested, right? You're never really out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be invested if they're attacking you or something. But
yeah. But you're looking at other people, and you need to use that to your advantage. Like, look at what they did to you. I can help you out. Like you're using what other people do on their turns to your advantage. So you're always paying attention to where they're moving, what they're doing, how their resources are going, what they're building. Like you're always in the game.
Now there's a game I used to play called Supremacy. My brother still has it as well. It was his game, but it was take over the world kind of thing. But it actually had a rule in it that everybody loses if there are ever 12 mushroom clouds on the table. Because you could get the nuke tech and then you could start sending nukes. And of course that wrecks a lot of stuff, but you could really start like plowing away at the other person to where like you could really wreck them. But if the other person got it too and started retaliating, then you both lose.
Yeah.
Of course, the problem with that is if you've lost anyway. Right. It had a great marketing system in it, though. I've never seen this marketing system repeated in another board game before. But it was fairly simple. It had 3 resources. I don't remember what they were. They were like oil and mineral and food. Wow, I do remember. So it was pink, yellow, and green. That's weird. I didn't think I'd remember. But anyway, it was the 3 resources.
Yeah.
And depending on which parts of the world you had, you would, whenever it's time to gain resources, you'd gain those resources. And then you would sell and buy depending on what you wanted to make, right? But the whole sell buy thing, there were 3 tracks for each one. So if I sold like 5 mineral, the value of mineral would go down because now there's mineral over out there. So the next person going then would have to sell at that price.
Yeah.
And so you could manipulate the markets to like really mess people up or,
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting.
That's cool. That's in games. That's in modern games, though.
It is, but I haven't seen it done in that way. It was kind of it was a really mean game.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of leaned away from for the most part. I'm sure there's war games and stuff going on that I stay away from. That
That's cool.
It's funny how all of my games from my past, I'm like, I would never play this now.
No.
Except Talisman once a year because I forget about it. Mystic Market. Is that what does that sound like something that they do?
I need to play that. I've seen that come up quite often lately.
Honey Buzz?
There you go.
I haven't tried that one either.
Yeah, it's Elf Creek.
Yeah. I know. I want to try that one.
Yeah.
I just missed it whenever it was coming out, kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, definitely board games are better now, obviously.
Oh, for sure. For sure. They've done, I mean, same thing with video games. Video games, I mean, you can argue that they're better now. They're definitely better produced. They look prettier. Technology makes things better as you go, right? Equally worse, but better as well. But yeah, I mean, you're still having memories with board games. I'm still having those standout memories from modern stuff that I had when, I was playing in the 80s or, late 80s, early 90s.
What is the earliest video game you remember playing? Anybody can answer that.
I'm going to say Pong.
I played Pong, but I don't think that was my first one. I think I was shown Pong after I'd played some Atari stuff.
Well, I think Pong, because my father worked at Sears for a minute. And I remember I have a memory of being at my grandparents' in the basement in New Rochelle. It's a city. I
assumed.
Westchester, downstate New York. And I think that predates my snafu in television kind of stage. I think that's the first experience, because in television I remember having afterwards. And obviously my Nintendo, that Christmas that we got Nintendo was after that. But I'm pretty sure Pong was the first thing I played, because he was working at Sears when it was released. So I think we had it, and I remember being in the basement of my grandparents playing that, and everything else I believe is I just remember being at my house, at the house I grew up in. So I think that was my first one, was Pong.
I think I could probably find out from my brother, actually, but I think my first one was either Cubert on Atari, or it was what's that other one called? Combat. Did you ever play Combat?
Is that the tank one?
Yeah, where you shoot and it bounces off the walls and you try to hit the other one. Like Tank Stew.
Yeah, like Tank Stew. Absolutely. Was that the one that had the 2 joysticks for each tank?
Yeah.
It was on like a green platform.
That was an arcade one. I played on the Atari, the 1-button joystick thing. So you'd have one, and
and you had your regular stick.
It also had planes, like 3 little planes would go, and you try to shoot each other. Yeah.
Before Atari, and before Intellivision, ColecoVision, all of those. I do remember playing on the Commodore 64. There were a couple games that I remember playing on like an early computer. But before there were these, like for a while there in the 90s, everything was plug and play, just plug it into the TV and your AV jacks and you get to play whatever. Like Pong was just a plug and play, but they had this tank battle thing that I believe was the same. But it was a 2-player game, and it was a big, wide green base. And it had 2 joysticks with the buttons on the top to shoot, and like you're right, and you move your right forward, so you turn left and whatever. and it had all of those different levels, and you'd play, but it was a plug and play. It was his own kind of video game system. I still
They
have
probably
that.
just took that and put it in Atari. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have it. I have it in the garage with my other
Of course you do.
the other stuff. I do. I still have all. We'll go into this, but I still have in my basement. I still have all of my systems, my original Nintendo top loader, my Super, my Genesis, my Sega Dreamcast. They're all still plugged into system selectors to my TVs, like all in a cabinet. So I still have all of that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have any of that. Yeah, I stopped getting console systems after NES actually, because we started. Yeah, because we were playing games on the computer. Like I was playing King's Quest and the Black Cauldron. Do you remember that old Disney movie?
Yeah,
they came out with a computer game. It was really bad. I tried playing it recently. It was really bad.
Oh,
but it was the whole kind of like use wrench on pipe, type of thing.
Yeah,
it was like you don't see a pipe, look around. You see a pipe. Use wrench on pipe. Like it. It would have to be. How do you want to use it? Turn wrench on pipe? Nope. Fit wrench on pipe? Nope. Twist? That'll do it. That was the game.
Jeez, that's great.
Magnavox
Odyssey. Holy crap!
Wow. No.
Wow.
I remember talking about people getting Sega and stuff like that. My cousins got that and stuff like that. And I played a little bit over at their houses and all. But we just started getting computer games after that.
Yeah, I was never into the computer. I couldn't grasp the WASD system for movement. Like I can't do it. So I was always like,
even now.
Yeah, I still can't. Like playing on tabletop simulator or something when I have to like scroll around. I hate it. I can't do it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. I wouldn't think that was I think you could use arrow keys too.
It's not in my head. I was always a controller. I always wanted it's the same thing, right? Like the up, down, left, right still did the up, down, left, right. But I remember the first time I played Halo, before I worked at GameStop, I was at my friend's store and he had a demo. Xbox was on the TV in the store, and I started playing it. It was the first time I played a first-person shooter because I wasn't on the computer with like Doom and all that stuff. And I remember my camera was always doing this funky thing, and I'm in a corner looking up at the ceiling, and I remember saying, "I'm done. Like I'm not playing this ever. This game is atrocious." And then fast forward like I don't know a year, and me and my same friend we're like in competitions where we would set up a camcorder in between two recliners and record our online sessions and then watch them to see how well we did and how we could do better. Just playing Halo. Like the first time I played it, I hated it. I never wanted to play it again because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. And then it was just that was the beginning of the end for all of that stuff. I was just constant playing Halo all the time.
Halo came out our early 20s?
Early 20s, 1920s.
Yeah. No. Our early 20s. Not 19.
Yeah. I thought you were going for years. Like, no. It was definitely early
2001, 2002, maybe something like that.
Around there,
yeah. Yeah, we played a lot of video games. I mean, computer games at my house.
Yeah. So. And they had Halo on the PC. They had, a lot of stuff. All the Star Wars, Rogue Squadron, and Dark Forces, and all that stuff was all on the PC.
Oh man, when I got X-Wing, the original X-Wing game, we were still dialing up on AOL to play it, but you could play it against other people online. Yeah. Oh man, I'd be in the middle. I had a joystick for it. I'd be in the middle flying. I was really good at it and stuff. And then right in the middle of the battle, like someone downstairs would pick up the phone to use it. And you're like, no. And then you're just like coasting straight as everybody's shooting at you.
Yeah, you'd be done.
And then you got to do the whole dial-in thing, get on AOL, go, yep, okay, then launch X-Wing. Then you're dead.
I can still hear that dial-up noise. Like, I can still hear it. Oh, Dark Forces was great. Yep.
The whole Fallen Jedi stuff was great.
Yep. Yeah, they were all good. Any of those, they were all super fun. I remember what was it, Galactic Empire? It's like a Star Wars resource gathering game. I forgot what it was called, but they were all really good.
Yeah, I think Star Wars has been more successful in video games than they have board games until recently. Like Outer Rim is really good, Rebellion is really good as far as board games go,
Yeah.
But up until those moments, I think the video games have always been better. Yeah, all the at least first person Jedi ones and stuff.
Come here. Stop scratching. Come here.
Scrunching?
No, he's scratching. You gotta get your hand out of your there's why'd you fall? Don't fall. You're so tired. I know.
Why do we fall, Bruce?
He's so tired. Come here. Come here. I know. I'm so sorry. You're so tired. I know.
You should introduce all the old games to him so that those games are his retro games.
Yeah.
Don't show him the new stuff.
No.
He only gets the old stuff.
I want him to go through it the way I did. I want him to play the original Mario Brothers. I want him to play the Mario Kart on Super NES. I want him to play all of that stuff.
I've tried to go back to a lot of that stuff. It's just really hard to stay engaged now. I mean, I've been playing Starfield lately, and I can't go back to like Zelda Top View. Dun, 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 dun. Like I can, but maybe 30 minutes of that, and I'm like, okay, time to go on to something else.
That's bad. I could play Zelda all the time.
I don't know. Yeah, it's. I mean, I have the Breath of the Wild and the new one, something about the wind or whatever. I forget what it is, but those are way better games in a way. But it's the nostalgia that makes me go back and want to play every now and then. But after that nostalgia breaks away, I'm like, I'll be playing something else.
That's sad.
But it's the same thing with Talisman. Like Talisman is not a good game.
No, it's not.
Sorry to Fantasy Flight, but it's not. It's a roll, go somewhere, and then draw a card to see what happens to you. Mm-hmm. But that's a horrible game system, right?
Yep.
But because of the nostalgia about once a year, I'll play it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is why I don't
play. That's why I stopped playing. Yeah.
Well, games like that, you either have like an amazing game, or you have a nothing happened to me game.
Right.
All right. Oh, my turn. I've been waiting 20 minutes for my turn. Awesome. Roll a die, pick a card. Got a gold. Cool. Your turn. Wait 20 minutes.
Right.
You can have games like that.
Yeah.
Or you could be the reason why everybody's waiting 20 minutes because I got this monster and now it teleports me over here. And now
Right.
It's all random. So there's still games that do that right now that do the whole like I almost every sandbox game I play has that potential. Like Outer Rims, I like Star Wars Outer Rims, but you can have games where nothing happens.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a sandbox game. I'm actually working on a sandboxing game, and I'm trying to work out of that. Haven't quite fixed it yet.
It's a tough thing to do, right? Where everything's an option.
Yeah, if you just go like you could do whatever you want, but whoever gets to fame 10 or whatever wins. Well, they might just wander around in the desert for hours. Like you can't. You have to be able to push them to do stuff. So.
Beep beep.
But yeah, you should start him along the same path. Don't ever let him see the other games.
That's gonna be hard to do.
So be like, yep, Pong. This is all we got right now. Play some Pong.
Yeah.
He might like Pong. Play some Pong.
Great hand-eye coordination, man.
Yeah.
Brutal.
That'd be interesting. That's what kids are for, right? Experiments?
Yes. Not that I do that at all.
Yeah. Well, You just got back from RetroCon, right? That's what kind of spurred this whole idea.
Retro Game Con. Yeah, it's the biggest.
What is that like?
Biggest convention, biggest gaming convention in New York. It's what you would think. It's definitely focused on retro games. Old school Genesis, Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Like, it's got modern stuff. There were a bunch of people selling like Switch games and whatever. Very crafty. Very like the perler beads. There a couple of tables with perler beads. A couple of tables with like crochet. Anime characters or Pac-Man or whatever, like crafty stuff, really cool. A bunch of people that have been vendors at QSCon go there too. It's Getting Dicey was there, Kinsole Studio was there, DPH Games was there. So there's a tabletop presence. It's kind of like the tabletop presence and the video game presence is kind of like PAX, like one of the PAX East or PAX West. It's predominantly video game centric, but there is a tabletop area, right? So that's where I was. I had the mission control simulator up. Jason had tables for play to wins and play the game was there selling games. But yeah, like they had just what you would do with a convention. There was VIP. There were people they were let in early. They're trying to, fetch that Game Boy Advance game that they've been hunting down for years, right? I spoke to one person. They were playing mission control, but we were waiting for their friend. And like, oh, he was over buying something. Oh, what was he getting? They're like, he doesn't tell us. And I'm like, okay, we'll find out. So he came over and I'm like, all right, what'd you buy? And he goes, oh, I was looking for I found my Grail game. I had to talk the guy down, but I'm like, oh, what game? And he said, Pokemon Emerald. And it was the Game Boy Advance, like a little cartridge, right? No box, no instructions, no nothing. Been hunting it down, saw one, negotiated with the guy because he wanted to get it. Take a guess how much? Just that little cartridge. No box, no instructions. That
75?
Retail $40-$50 when it came out.
Oh. 125.
$180.
Wow.
Right?
Okay. I hope he enjoys it, man.
I saw, remember Virtual Boy, the thing that would burn the red cones from your eyes?
No.
There was a thing, it was like VR, but it literally started doing damage to people's like the red in their eye.
It's hilarious.
It was out for a short time. It had Mario Tennis. It was like a VR for like earlier VR, and it was in the box. The box was not in great condition. $640.
Wow.
Right. Like it's what you would expect.
Frying your eyes.
Down the Genesis games that they remember and the import only Super Nintendo games for like Fantasy Flight and all that stuff. Like there's a bunch of people that are still into that stuff. To the degree that there was a company there that was making games for the retro systems. Like
weird.
Find a game that was playable on the Genesis or on the Nintendo. Yeah, like a modern game that they just did that was still playable on the old system. Like, that's neat. That's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm sure a lot of the indie games that you can get on Xbox and stuff like that would be able to. There's a lot of side scrollers and stuff like that you can get.
Yeah, like those Steam games, right? Those couch co-op kind of games.
Yep.
But it was great. I mean, Patrick, who runs it, put on a great show. The space was good. They reached capacity, I think, almost twice on Saturday. So that's like 5,000 people. Last year they had over 7,000 people attend. Do you have a bite or something? What are you doing? But it was great. It was a great show. It was great to see a bunch of people wearing QSCon gear. A bunch of friends from QSCon hung out on different days. 2-day event, Saturday, Sunday.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
You have a lot of new people play Mission Control?
Everybody that played were new. They had never heard of it before. David was there. He was there. We did a panel on Saturday at 1:30 where he was talking about like narratives in video games because of his Diablo and Skylanders and stuff he's done narrative wise outside of 3WS. So that was fun. Hang out with him for a bit. But yeah, it was great. It was great. I've done it the past couple of years. obviously with COVID, that was a problem. But Patrick puts on a good show. He
Cool.
did. Patrick ran. I don't know what you want, buddy. What do you want? Where's the ball? Go get the ball.
Do they have arcade games and pinball and all that stuff
They
too?
had a bunch of pinball games. They had a bunch of stand-up arcades. They had. I don't even know. I wish Dan was in the chat, but he brings. I don't even know how many computers, like actual PCUs, he brings, but they had an entire area that was just games set up on computer, like old school computers, like Oregon Trail kind of stuff, and just there for people to just hop into and play, like anything from Mortal Kombat to it's crazy, like all the retro. And then in the back corner they have a stage where they have bands play, and there's a bunch of like geeky game, like video game centric bands that play that are well known. So they were there. They had the voice of Geralt from The Witcher. They had the guy, the NBA Jam guy, the announcer that would do Boom Shakalaka and everything. He was there. Nolan North was there. So he's the voice of Nathan Drake from Uncharted and a whole bunch of other things. The voice of Tails from Sonic was there. So they had I think eight to 10 special guests like in the video game industry. That was really neat. And you know, people would line up and get their picture taken and have autographs and everything.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really neat.
And that, how many times have you gone?
I think this is my third or fourth. They just celebrated their 10th year.
Oh,
They've been doing it for 10 years. I think this has been my third or fourth time. Why are you crying?
Did they do anything that you were like, oh, I should do that at QSCon or QSCon?
I don't know what you want me to do, dude. You keep handing me a block. I don't know what you want me to do with the block. You want me just to hold the block? Do you want me just to hold them? I don't understand. You want me to hold them?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put them there. And, another one? Okay.
Okay, it's your turn to play.
You just wanted me to put them on this truck. Oh,
no.
No, I like
about retro games.
He's in a different space, right? He has a lot more vendors. He does the pipe and draping in between, like a standard con would do. It's just a bigger venue, and it's a lot more people. I don't, if QSCon ever gets to be big like that, I would definitely steal a bunch of things that he does. Sure. You know, like the VIP and the way the booths are set up and stuff like that.
Borrow.
The what?
You would borrow ideas. Yeah.
I'd straight up steal it. But I'd tell him I'd steal it.
Borrow.
Yeah. He ran the second day of trivia at QSCon. It was kind of video game, board game crossover trivia questions. But yeah, he's a cool cat. Love him. And he puts on a great show. Cool. Yeah. But they were like just an exorbitant amount of old video games, like the Genesis, the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64. Like looking at some of the prices on some of the stuff that I have, I'm like, do I want to sell them? Because holy shit, I can make money. But like,
are you using them?
No, I'm not. But I don't want to reacquire them for when I'm playing games with Luca when he's older. You know what I mean? Right. But just bins and cases of old game Pokemon cards that were like hundreds of dollars. Like they just the collectible nature of that community is pretty bonkers. But it's cool to see, like, just geeky. They huge cosplay, amazing costumes that were just like, you know, you got your Star Wars, you got your 501st, you got your R2 rolling around, like all of that. I took a picture of Chopper.
There was a Chopper?
Oh, there was a Chopper.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Could the person controlling Chopper, could they talk into it and it, because that would be great.
No, I didn't see him moving around.
Oh, that's cool.
But the R2 was moving around and he was doing all the beeps and boops and everything.
Need to get my hands on an R2
Any astromech, really.
chopper, yeah. So they could do all my math for me.
I saw this. This was pretty cool. Boba Fett was doing a paint and take.
It's hard to see in that helmet.
Yeah, you can tell
got the helmet. Yeah, get the helmet right there. You can see better than you think you can, but it's still a little hard.
I don't know what they're painting, but
it depends on how it fits on you too.
It was pretty funny.
The harder one to see out of, actually, surprisingly, is the Night Owl one, because the eyes have this dip right here, and you can see that in both eyes. So if you just do this, you can actually see what I'm talking about. There's like 2 of them that appear before.
Oh, wow. That was a view of basically the tabletop area, which is half, like, I don't know, a fifth of the convention center.
I don't see any games on the tabletop.
Well, it was earlier in the day.
Oh, okay.
But they did have this giant. Can I do this backwards? Nope. You can see that. So the mission control simulator is 10 foot round and 8 feet tall.
Oh, nice.
And then they had a giant inflatable Stay Puft, Mr. Stay Puft.
That's great.
Yeah.
Couldn't help you.
It was really, it's really well done. I don't think I took any pictures of
actual game being played.
No, I took pictures of the actual games being played, but I don't think I took pictures of
mission control
side of the hall. No, I did get a picture of Dave and Dave's booth, though. I'll plug him a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like his little superpowers banner that he made. But yeah, he was promoting obviously Diablo 4 and all the other stuff that he's written. But he had I didn't know he worked on Mask. Do you remember Mask?
The comic book that became the movie?
The cartoon?
Oh, the cartoon.
It was a cartoon first.
Oh, no. I remember seeing that, like, stuff like that, but I never watched it. Yeah.
Oh, they were great. So he worked on that. He worked on Skylanders.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've seen that too.
He's the writer of the Gossamer Saga, which is 3WS, which I've talked about before. So they had everything. They have a little bit of everything there, which is really neat.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't take any pictures of any of the other side. Oh, this is one of the booths. Like the crafty, like just the creative crafty stuff that people do.
Yeah. And I like looking at that stuff even at Gen Con and stuff, yeah.
If Dave and Di are still
that's fun.
Like that giant possum was handmade.
$200 possum.
They had bees. Like they're just the creative nature in the community and that side of the community. It's just really neat to see all the different things that people can wrap their heads around and do. So, but yeah, he puts on a great product. Had a huge line of people coming in. It's just good to see.
Wish we had stuff like that. If anybody wants to run a con, Houston has tons of people that have no cons.
So I was just talking to somebody. We want to do HughesCon.
Yeah, HughesCon.
HughesCon, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that'll actually get you to start saying HughesCon correctly, because it sounds very similar.
HughesCon?
Yes.
HughesCon.
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 Kind of like if you say Houston, but you put a C in front of it.
Houston.
No.
HughesCon and HoustonCon. Sure.
You're right. So I was talking to somebody. Yeah, there you go. You see it? I did that for you. Yeah. So it was a great weekend. It definitely refuels the old school video games, and I want to play again. There was somebody that was doing buttons. They had pins, not buttons, pins. And do you remember? You ever played Lemmings? I know it was on PC for a while.
Lemmings, no.
Oh my god, I have it on Nintendo. I would play that so much. And they had a pin of one of the lemmings with the umbrella that would fall. It was pretty neat. But they had everything you can think of. Like it was amazing.
Oh, that's cool. Glad
Yeah.
you had fun. I need some of that stuff to come down here, I guess. I think I'm just frustrated with the cons that we do have. They're just
come up.
not. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't want them around my house, so I don't have to.
Yeah, but then you're out of that 118-degree crappy weather.
It's the sidewalks have finally stopped melting.
That's awesome. That's so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It felt so good outside. It was like 90.
Oh my god. What is
Maybe
it right now? I'm gonna be
it might have even
surprised.
been like 89 or something. Like it felt really good.
Disgusting.
Yeah, let me tell you what it is.
It's 49 degrees right now.
Outside?
Right now, outside. I just changed to 50.
It's 80 degrees right now.
That's disgusting.
No,
This is
it felt good today.
the next week right here. That's what
It felt so good today. Wait, are you wearing like coats and stuff?
Hoodies.
Hoodies?
Yeah.
Weird. I bought a Gathering of Friends hoodie and I still have not had a chance to wear it.
Yeah, you will in like February.
Right. Yeah. Well, when the gathering comes around. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Or Gamma. Well, no, Gamma will be in Kentucky, so you won't need it there. If you go to Gamma.
Yeah. It is actually you could go outside and not melt. Yeah. It's nice.
That's disgusting. Well, if I keep going through with the plan, which my idea is to have a convention on location every year, like a QSCon presents kind of thing. So I've already promised Alan that we're doing QSCon Costa Rica, so that'll be a thing. But we could
Texas is closer though, so we'll be on the way.
Sure. But like I already promised Alan he'd get the first shot. So, but QSCon presents HughesCon. I mean, that's weird, but we could do it.
QSCon
Houston. It could be QSCon Houston. We could just put it in the name that way.
H-Town. Yeah.
Sure. Whatever you want to call it.
HCon. Just call it HCon.
That could be bad though.
Yeah. All right. Well, as you can see right here, I have 2 weeks. 2 weeks before this launches. So our episodes may be a little short up until then.
Stuff to do.
Yeah, quite a bit. I'm gonna save all my sleeping for November, or some of November.
Sure.
Yeah, just save it up, or maybe do like the Leonardo da Vinci thing, right?
Jesus Christ. We do. Speaking of that, we do have something fun coming up next weekend. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah, two Saturdays from now. Part of that Potion Con, you and I are doing that special episode on Saturday, which I'm very much looking forward to. It's focused on if you like Flamecraft, you'll like this.
Yeah, it's top 5 games Flamecraft fans would like, or something like that. Yeah. Top 5 games for Flamecraft fans.
Say that faster.
You say that faster.
Top 5 games for Flamecraft fans. Fans?
Yeah. Say it faster and faster.
Top 5 games for Flamecraft fans. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's it.
Because it was like Flamecraft fans would like or something. That's way too long.
No, we're not doing that. Top 5 games for Flamecraft fans. Right. So just say that real fast.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll practice. But yeah, it'll be fun. Like if you played Flamecraft and you like this, you'll like that. So
right. Yeah. And we'll probably pick out specific reasons why. Obviously, I would just be like, these 5 games, you're good.
We'll have. I think I still have them in my bag, and I guess the embargo is lifted, so we can talk about it. Where is it?
Oh yeah.
We have. I teased this a couple weeks ago, but we have these to give away.
Yeah. Rare.
We'll be giving those away as the coming weeks happen, and we figure out how we want to torture everybody that's watching in getting them. So
maybe we should have like a game show or something like that where people can come on and answer questions.
Yeah, we should do that.
Answer in the
Oh, we
chat.
should do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should do that. That's a good idea.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, so we'll iron out some of the details, and that'll be a thing we'll do. We have the October 21st PotionCon show that we're going to do, which will be fun. And then your launch is
October 24th.
24th, that Tuesday, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. And then a week later, 2 weeks later, will be charcuterie. So
yeah,
I'll be out of my mind when that happens. So it'll be fun. End of the year is already done. It's already January.
Yeah. Feels like it. It's going to come by fast.
Crazy. I just want to slow down in between PotionCon and the launch of your thing and the launch of charcuterie. Luca turns 2, and I just want it to slow down just for a little bit, and then it could ramp back up again. So
good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
All right. Well, we're going to break off and go work on stuff and hang out with Luca. Or I guess you'll hang out with Luca. I'll work on stuff.
He might already be in the recliner sleeping. So
nice. Well, that worked out. We bored him to death. Woo.
I want to see.
Better make sure. But yeah, so we're going to wrap up a little bit. It's going to be a short one. Oh, we just went over an hour, so
yeah,
not too short. I don't think we've ever had a under an hour episode. Oh, there was one time where it was just me. I think there might have been one other one.
Yeah, I think there might be 2. The one that was just you and you left after like 15 minutes, and then I think one was a little bit shorter.
Yeah. So we always got to go over a little bit.
Did I? No, I don't have it. Never mind. I'll shut up. Luca, do you want to say bye?
No.
Luca, do you want to come say bye?
Probably not.
He was only slow blinking. He wasn't sleeping.
That's practically sleeping. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We're going to probably be focused, as we said, on stuff we're working on and stuff like that. But we'll still be here Monday, and we'll put out new shows. Tell us what top 5s, subjects, things like that you want to hear about or talk about with us, since the show is live, right? Yeah, good night. Thanks for stopping by.
Wait.
Passed out just in time.
Sleeping on the recliner. Yeah. So thanks everybody. We'll talk soon, I'm sure.
Bye, everybody.